So we saw all these three different modes in our previous videos, and in this video we are going to cover the total beast mode where you're going to run your classes in parallel and you're going to run your tests in parallel. For this to work, you need basically two things. One, of course, is you're going to change our JUnit properties by way saying, hey, run my classes in parallel and run my tests in parallel and basically run everything in parallel. But what you also need is, let's say if you have now 3 plus 2 plus 2, so total 7 test cases, you at least need 7 devices to run each test case in parallel. So that is something that you have to remember. And maybe I should have also mentioned this in the previous videos, that when you are running your test classes in parallel, since we had three test classes, you would at least need 3 devices. And in max to max case, since each class has maximum 3 test cases, you would have needed minimum 3 devices. But don't worry, I mean, you might think that what if I have 20 test classes, what if I have 40 test classes, do I need 40 devices? No, not really. There are other options where you can actually define how many parallel threads you want to start, so that if you define this parameter, everything can run in parallel, but only for, let's say, 4 devices or 4 test classes, or change the number and it will change accordingly. But for now, let's not limit our parallel thread, because we really want to see the total beast mode. So I'm going to comment this, and actually we are going to use this mode, which is basically a dynamic strategy, and which says, the dynamic factor is 1. So depending on the number of cores, you will get the number of threads. So what we're going to do is we want to run everything in parallel. And since we have 7 devices, we expect that all the 7 test cases should be able to trigger in parallel. So let's do that. And I think before that, maybe what I can do, let's see, we have 3 devices open. Let's keep them. I think 4 more will launch, and let's see what happens. So let's go to our login package, and now I'm clicking test. And you should see that now everything should start in parallel. So like you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, everything is running in parallel. Now, by the way, this is not a mode which you will normally use. This is just for demo purposes, and the reason being is when you're trying to run too many emulators, they will consume resources, right? So you would not want that, because otherwise your machine will choke and it will die. In my case, I have a powerful machine, so I was able to run 7 devices in parallel. I think now, because I'm also trying to record and I'm also trying to spin up these 7 devices, there's a lot of load on my machine. And that's why what I'm seeing is I only see 3 emulators and not 7, which is what I saw yesterday when I was testing this. But let's see what happens. So at this moment, I still only see 3 devices. It seems there's a new device that launched. Yes, now in the window, I'm seeing more devices coming up. As you can see, for example, now there are 4, 5, 6. A lot of devices are being popped up now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now there are 7 devices. And even though I get this message, but actually I have all the 7 devices and the test will run. This is what I saw yesterday. So let's see. You can already see 3 tests finished, a few more to go. I have 4 emulators. Let's see, tests are running. And even though in between these messages are popping, could not automatically detect an ADP binary, but hey, everything is going fine. I don't see any problems. And I think There's one more test remaining, and that's it. So I think this one failed, um, and probably because it could be because of resources, but like you can clearly see, we were able to launch 7 devices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and we could run everything in parallel. So like I said, this is not normally a mode that you will normally use, but hey, if a machine can handle it, if a company can provide you a strong infrastructure, why not? You can actually say, limit my threads to 7, why not run, 7 emulators in parallel? So it all depends on your company's infrastructure, but not on your framework's capabilities. So your framework is pretty flexible, and as long as your company or you yourself can provide it with a good hardware, good CPU, you can run your test in parallel. So with this, we have covered all the 4 different modes. So I hope you like this framework, because what I'm going to do is I'm just getting started. For now, I have added parallel capabilities for Android, but I will add for also for iOS, and in fact, also for real devices, and also for running tests in Browser Stack and in Source Labs. So if you start using it, please give me feedbacks. If you see any bugs, please report it to me, and I will try to fix them as soon as possible. So that's it, and maybe I'll see you guys in more videos, which I'll make on Appium to explain how the framework works, how I achieved the parallel capabilities, but that's for another day. So I hope you like it. See you guys later. Bye-bye.